Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you very much for tuning into the video. Quick MMA video for you guys talking about the middleweight championship matchup between Vitor Belfort versus Chris Weidman. Now, this is an interesting matchup, and the biggest storyline to this fight, in my opinion, is how will Vitor Belfort look being off TRT? Definitely, in my opinion, it did help him in training in the past for fights. So it's interesting to see how he is going to look at this fight. But nonetheless, I think that Vitor Belfort, in my opinion, is just a very extremely talented fighter as well to go along with the use of TRT. But definitely a talented guy. I don't think we should take away all of his career achievements because he used TRT in the past. Now, let's talk about Vitor Belfort as a fighter. When I look at Vitor Belfort, I see a guy very fast hand speed. He's an excellent striker who brings power to the table, and he's a guy also who has some excellent kicks to go along with his hand speed. Now, when I look at Chris Weidman as a fighter, I see a guy, the middleweight champion, defied the odds by defeating Anderson Silva, and he's a guy, a high level wrestling background. I like the way he uses his elbows when I watch him fight. He has good dirty boxing. Also, he can handle himself on his feet as well. He's not on the same level as Vitor Belfort, but nonetheless, I think Chris Weidman, in my opinion, is a highly skilled, multi-talented fighter, in my opinion. Now, when I'm looking at some of the advantages that both of these fighters have going into this matchup, I think that Vitor Belfort is the faster fighter. Excuse me. He's a more experienced fighter, and he has a striking advantage in this matchup. Now, Chris Weidman, in my opinion, for this fight has a grappling advantage. Also, I believe Weidman brings more tools to the octagon, in my opinion. I think that Weidman is able to mix it up more than Vitor Belfort can. And I also believe that Chris Weidman, being a younger fighter, is also more fresh. He hasn't had as many grueling fights in his career, whereas Vitor Belfort has been in the sport for a number of years. So, my opinion, I'm going to take Chris Weidman to win this fight. I like the way he looked against Leona Machida, also against Anderson Silva in the first fight. So, I think I'm going to go with Chris Weidman. I think his ability to keep it standing, and he's competent in his standing ability. A lot of wrestlers, sometimes they struggle with the striking aspect, but Weidman can definitely handle himself on his feet. But I think his ability to mix things up and mix in takedowns and dirty box, and I also believe that he is a better grappler than Vitor Belfort. I believe if he gets Belfort on the ground, he can keep him down and maybe wear him out a bit so that Vitor doesn't have that same kind of explosiveness that we've seen him in a lot of previous fights. Let me know what you guys think on the matchup. Who you think wins this fight? I got Chris Weidman, unanimous decision. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning into the video. And once again, I appreciate it.